Here in late 2017, there is still no new 126 cartridge film available to shoot these millions and millions and millions of Kodak Instamatic cameras that are out there. Most of you, if you look around in your relative's house, you'll find one of these tucked away in a closet or an attic. And here is the Hawkeye, very popular. The Hawkeye Instamatic R4. Millions of these are out there. Also popular is the Kodak 100 Instamatic, the 104 Instamatic, and all of these cameras are very similar. They're metallic, they're made with metal, and if you open it up, the backs are all very similar. They all have the same loading mechanism and the same pin system. This is the pin that grabs the sprocket on a 126 cartridge that cocks the shutter. So the problem being, if you take an old 126 cartridge and crack it open carefully, you could reuse it by using the backing paper. And this is currently loaded with 35 millimeter film. But as you can see, 35 millimeter film, the sprockets are lots and lots of sprockets, whereas original 126 film, not so many sprockets. And this sprocket is what triggered that pin that I just showed you to cock the shutter so you can take your picture. So when you put a 126 cartridge reloaded with 35 millimeter film in your camera, the sprockets, the 35 millimeter sprockets, they kind of freak out. They kind of freak out your camera. Zzz. Let's get this cartridge in. There we go. So now a cartridge is in, loaded with 35 millimeter film, and let's try to get this camera going. There you go. You see the arrows moving on the back in the back window. It's looking for a sprocket hole through the backing paper. There it is, number one.
Number one!
Number one. Now you ready to take your first picture? Oh, that went very well. Let's go to number two. Uh-oh. And here is where the problem starts with Kodak Instamatic, early 1960s Instamatic cameras. I cocked the shutter halfway through. It stopped. It's hung up somewhere. And as you can see, it's stuck. So I'm going to try to depress the shutter and continue moving forward. No, it's the pin is jammed up somewhere on a 35 millimeter sprocket. That's the problem. And this is the exact problem I have in every Kodak Instamatic that I load with 126 cartridge reloaded with 35 millimeter film. So now, let's say you're out or you're trying to shoot something. You're kind of just, well, as we say on the Film Photography Podcast, F. There's really nothing to do except open it up, jiggle it a little bit, try to undo that pin. Yeah, you see? Let's take it out. You hold the pin down. Oh, hold the pin down. Then, now we're back in business. Now we're back in business. But as you can see, you've ruined a shot, and there's no guarantee that it's going to actually work. Let's try again. Okay, we're at number one. Let's see if we can get to number two. Okay, there's number two. Oop. There's number three. This time I held, when I took the picture, I then, stuck. Stuck again. Now, I've gotten a few emails from you folks telling me that the trick is to hold the shutter down. Oh boy. The trick hold on, let me get this going. Okay, I'm gonna reboot this. Here it is. Here's the reload. I'm gonna reboot this. There we go. Here's the cartridge. You can crack just about any cartridge the non-Kodak cartridges, non-Fuji cartridges, the off-brand cartridges I found, GAF, are really easy to crack. You find them on eBay. All right, so let's cut. Let's try. Okay, let's try again. I rebooted the cartridge back to the beginning. Okay, so let's try. Here we go. There's the arrow. Looking for number 1. Okay, number 1. This time, when I take the picture, I'm going to keep my finger down on the shutter and not release it. Well, here we go. Nope. Okay, folks. So all right. Okay, I would say the Instamatic is problematic. I'm sure we could find a workaround for this. If you have a workaround, send me an email, michael@filmphotographyproject.com. I found this to be difficult. I found much more luck in the Keystone Auto Instant cameras and later models, most notably the Kodak X15 cameras work really well. Till next time, happy shooting, and I look forward to hearing from you.